Hello, beautiful souls. This month, we are diving deep into the powerful energies in February, exploring the expansion of your intuitive abilities, embracing love, especially universal love, rising above the chaos, releasing expectations, and learning how to better navigate the beautiful complexity of ascension. Welcome to your multidimensional journey. I am Tracy Canberra, and let's start with your intuitive awakening, expanding your psychic abilities and skills, trusting your inner wisdom, and connecting to your guides and angels more. Many of you are experiencing the expansion of your intuitive abilities, and it's not about doubt or second guessing. It's honestly about radical trust. So, if you can imagine that your inner guidance system, your intuitive abilities are like a GPS that's constantly recalibrating, your job isn't to question the route, but to trust the navigation. But we've all had experiences where Google Maps takes us in the wrong direction and we can sense it's not what we want. So we pull over and look closer and we trust our intuition deep within ourselves. We go into our sensing and knowing, and we make new choices of trusting self over technology or other opinions, which is quite the metaphor from spirit for saying that sometimes we can believe that this navigation, that this wisdom and information is from spirit when it's really from the ego mind that's trying to keep you safe. And for those of you that believe that this is right, even though it doesn't feel good, meaning you're in a relationship, but your partner doesn't treat you right, or you want to enter a relationship because spirit has told you this is your one, and you're getting a no-go. The person rejected you, or the job fired you. That is your ego mind saying, this is the best one, this is the best job, this is my twin flame. But spirit is showing you the rejection. And it's not a rejection. It's simply going in a different direction, but it feels like rejection. So when you can't tell if it is right or not, again, go back to the feeling. It doesn't feel good to get rejected. So rather than believing that this person or this job rejected you, understand, oh, spirit was working through this person to show me that even though I feel they're the one, I've been told they're the one, I'm getting a no. It doesn't feel good. So I'm going to change directions. Hey, spirit, if this person or job is the one, make it come around again in the future. But today, it doesn't feel good and it's not happening and I'm not going there. So I'm going to let y'all regroup while I go do something that does make me feel good, that does make me happy. That, to me, is the biggest example of ego mind posing as spirit and true spiritual guidance. So question everything. If it continues to feel really good in your heart and you feel really strongly you should continue with it, go for it. If it feels like, no, I get what you're saying, but this isn't the way, then pull over, pause, go inward and go, okay, this doesn't feel right. Show me more. Show me a better way. Because this month is calling you to become a divine, neutral, objective observer of your own life, your own experiences, which means notice everything, every subtle feeling, every synchronicity, every whisper of guidance. Now, that's not to say that the fears won't crop up and you'll be like, I want to take action, but that's terrifying. Well, then pause again and ask for a smaller step. There is nothing wrong with baby steps, people. I take baby steps all the time. I'm still human. I have my fears. They crop up. Anyone that believes we can eradicate fear on this planet, I don't agree, because fear is part of the 3D experience. That's why they have the phrase, feel the fear and do it anyway. Remember, in this infinite multiverse of possibilities, your intuition is tapping into a reality, into a timeline where your intuition, your insight is absolutely true. And that's because all realities exist and infinite timelines exist in each one of those realities. So stop me if you've heard this story before, which you can't do because this is pre-recorded. But When I was in Sedona, I was trail running by Bell Rock, and I went down into this little wooded dip on, I think, the telephone trail. I stumbled over a rock, which happened way too often trail running in Sedona. Those trails, those paths are very rocky. So I stumbled over a rock and I watched myself. Call it my inner vision, my mind's eye. I mean, for me, it happened right in front of me. I watched myself split into three. The one on the left tripped and fell. The one on the right didn't trip at all, just kept running. And the middle one tripped, stumbled, regained balance, and kept going. And this all happened, just like telepathy, this all happened in a nanosecond. And I remember thinking to myself, well, I guess I chose the middle me because I stumbled but didn't fall. I kept going. And by the time I had that thought, I had already run another 10, 15 feet. This was all instantaneous and I kept going. So that was just one of many instances where I saw the multiple choices, the multiple timelines within my reality. And I subconsciously, spiritually chose one. That's happening all the time. You can think about it this way. Doubting yourself and believing you don't know the way, it's like static on a radio signal. The more you clear that static through faith and trust in yourself, belief in the universe and spirit, the clearer the transmission becomes. You don't need to understand every detail. You simply need to believe. Then the next step will reveal itself. If you remain in fear, you keep the static. So clear the static, believe in yourself, notice what you're sensing, feeling, seeing in your inner mind screen or out of the corner of your eye. Tell your brain that is a signal, that's a sign, and you're getting more signs. Celebrate those signs. Celebrate your psychic skills coming online and expanding. For those of you that already have them, they are expanding. I'm watching mine expand every week. Get excited about receiving these intuitive signs and signals, and then ask questions about what you've sensed and know that your guides and angels are answering you, because they always are. Next up, releasing expectations. Yep, it's the art of surrender. February is nudging us to release our grip on how things should be, how we want them to be, how we were promised they'd be. I say this in client sessions, expectations are like closed fists. They can't receive. So imagine opening your hands, spreading your arms wide, letting go of your desired outcomes. You state what you want and you let the universe deliver it, okay? What might flow in when you create that space by opening yourself up to the possibilities? Remember, faith and trust means the good stuff's coming. You believe it's coming. So you open your arms, you open your hands, and you receive it. And you see the signs and signals and you let it in. And if you seem to be going in another direction and you are holding the faith and trust, remember, the long cut often becomes the shortcut. Meaning, spirit, God, the universe, source can deliver so much more than you dreamed of in ways you'd never imagine. So let them open and receive, surrender and allow. And this isn't about giving up. Releasing expectations is not giving up. Surrendering is not giving up. It is creating room for more. And it's about allowing faith and trust to enter, which allows fear to release. Whew, that one was a biggie. Next up, the frequency of love. Now, February is always a big month for love. It doesn't matter if you're in a romantic relationship or not. Nope. Your angels and guides are talking about a universal love, the expansive love that transcends family, friend, lover relationships. Remember that every act of kindness, every moment of compassion, every genuine smile is contributing to the planet's energetic ascension. So give more love this month. Feel more love around you. I don't care if you have to make it up. Pick up every little thing. You're walking through the grocery store and you see a parent smile at their child. Whoa, look at that big expression of love. Even if you have to make it up, see more love around you. Notice every little act of love and join in. Contribute. Because the more love we build up on this planet, the more quickly we leave 3D behind. And we remain longer in that 5D state of being. And it's exponential. The more you and I stay in 5D, like popcorn, the more everyone else pops up into 5D. We are the first wave. We are the leading edge. All of you listening to me are here because you are Lightworkers, healers, leading edge. So believe that. And as you're the first wave, just like me, it is our, I want to say duty, and Spirit's like, no, not at all. It is our opportunity. It is our delight to stay in 5D as long as possible, as often as possible, because love is the path to ascension. So this month, let's all challenge ourselves. How many acts of love can you notice and participate in today? The archangels always tell me each act of love is like a drop of healing water in the global consciousness. So beautiful. So this month and beyond, intentionally participate in love. Use your new and expanded intuitive skills to magnify the love that you're sensing. Send it farther, send it more often. Okay, we go from love to chaos. I feel like I've been bringing this up monthly, but chaos is still here, ebbing and flowing like waves. Some of those waves drown you. Some of those waves propel you into higher levels of intuition, love, trust, faith. So when it comes to chaos, navigate it with consciousness, which means ignore it to the best of your ability. It is so easy to get swept up in uncertainty. But remember, you are the architect of your experience. You are creating your life or co-creating it with your soul. Same thing. I think Henry Ford said this, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. Which means if you believe the world is going to hell and you're prepping for the inevitable apocalypse, you're right. I can't imagine any of those people are listening to this podcast. But if you believe you're ascending and the old toxic systems of control and manipulation are dissolving, you're also right. That's my people. That's the community we have here. So when you feel the chaos swirling around you, or you sense that you just stepped into a chaotic pile of poop, you have the power to shift your energy. The power lies in your response. Your thoughts, your feelings, your actions. So change your response. Send love to that turbulence. Radiate peace. Focus on your inner harmony and send that out. Love, compassion, peace, harmony, strength, hope, faith, trust. Send it out. You can do this for 30 seconds several times a day. You don't have to sit in meditation for 2 hours. That's not what I've seen in my experience. Send it out continuously, constantly. Every time you go to get a drink, every time you go to the bathroom. The dragons are showing me sit on the toilet and send out love and peace and power and strength and hope. Okay, there's our assignment. So remember, your vibration is far more powerful than any external circumstance and always will be. That's such a biggie for all of us to remember. Thank you, dragons, for that wonderful picture of sitting on the toilet and sending out love. Which reminds me, dragons are here to stay, just like your guides and angels, and more are coming into my awareness every week, which is so exciting. I was introduced to a new brown dragon the other day, an elemental one, like fairies and wood sprites and such, from a client in session. And she was also calling in the red dragons of creativity and inspiration, which we may talk to in the next podcast episode. So stay tuned for that, which leads us to the next point that the red dragons started talking about, creativity and inspiration. Dream bigger. This month is unleashing a massive wave of creative energy. It is time to expand your vision, to dream bigger than you've ever allowed yourself to dream before, because it's all possible and the new frequencies this year support it. Ask the universe, your guides, your angels, your dragons to illuminate your path. You got to be open to unexpected routes, okay? I see it so often in my personal sessions. What a client labels a detour is actually a shortcut to a higher timeline. Like I mentioned earlier, when spirit gives you a long cut, while your immediate response can be, no, I didn't ask for this. Why is this derailing? Step back, take a deep breath or 3 or 5, and repeat to yourself, all is divine and perfect, including the way forward. So you remind yourself, your brain, your ego mind, this is all done for me, not to me. So knowing it's all in my highest good, I accept this path, I release my resistance, and I allow myself to move forward in faith and trust. What's next, peeps? That's my term for my guides and angels and the whole community of loving support from the other side. What's next? Ask and listen and watch for the signs. Believe their signs and take another step in faith and trust. The last point for February is freedom is building momentum. While March and April are bringing even more expansive energetic shifts, particularly after the eclipses, you are already feeling the seeds of freedom breaking through the soil of chaos. That was poetic. I hear the most wonderful things from spirit when I'm channeling. That was poetic, right? You're feeling the seeds of freedom breaking through the soil of chaos. If you see the possibilities, then you'll embrace this growing sense of freedom within you, which causes you to experience deeper faith and trust, and, this is important, an expanding sense of safety and security. Because we're always asking for protection. That's initially how the dragons came in. So many calls for protection. It called them into our reality, and they're bringing so much more. We're all asking for protection, for safety and security, financial security, physical security, safety and security. And why? Because safety equals freedom. When you feel safe, you are free to do, be, and have whatever you want. Well, the universe is showing us this month that this works in reverse too. Tell yourself, your brain, your ego mind, your emotional body, your vagus nerve and central nervous system that you are free to believe, you are free to step towards this goal, you are free to achieve this dream. Because when you reprogram your mind and body to believe you're free, then you will feel more safety and security. It is up to you as you are creating your reality. Those are the biggies for February: intuition, creativity, freedom, love. So ponder on those, call them all in, carry the feeling and frequency of them all, trust yourself, expand your love and expand love on the planet. Navigate chaos with faith and trust. Dream big, dream outrageously. And remember, you're a powerful, interconnected being playing a very valuable, maybe even crucial role in our collective ascension. And I'm so very grateful you're here helping me to bring 5D to humanity, to bring us up and keep us there. And I'll say every time that you like, comment, share, subscribe, you're building this community of light workers and ascension masters, especially on YouTube. Your participation not only inspires me and supports me, but it guides me to new beings, which I bring into podcast episodes. So thank you, beautiful souls, for taking this journey with me. I'm sending you infinite love light, and I'll be back soon, probably with a dragon or two.